The Block Wars 10 teams have been announced, so I'm going to be ranking the teams from worst to best, starting off with the Blue Bears. In 8th place, I'm going to put the Blue Bears with Handsome Fella, Joe Bartz, Fruitberries, Sneak Snag, and Anthos. Just comparing this team to all the other teams, it just seems the weakest by far. Fruit is the top frag, and he's a new player to Block Wars. I don't know how much VOD reviewing he's going to do. And I think in some of the games, especially Order Up, he's just not going to know how the game really works that well, and he won't be able to lead the team amazingly. Sneak Snag's a good player to have as a second frag, but he doesn't play the event too much, and he doesn't have that much experience as some other players. Joe Bart's been having some pretty solid performances, but I don't know if that's going to hold up. I need to see how he does this event, and then I'll really know if he's a good Block Wars player. Anthos towards the weaker side, but he's still good at some games like Order Up and Extraction. I think he's decent at. And Handsome Fella, I have no idea how good he is, but I'm assuming he's the bottom frag. Games I think this team can do good at is Spleef, Party, and Blitz Hunt. And games I think this team will do bad at is pretty much the PvP games and Order Up for sure. In 7th place, I'm putting the Orange Otters with Forcevit, Pangy, Radoons, Caboodle, and Mid Mystic. Radoons is a solid player, but not the best as a top frag. Pangy's a really good second frag, and Forcevit's a really good third frag. At least I think Pangy's better than Forcevit. I think Mid Mystic's pretty mid. No pun intended. And then I'm not sure how good Caboodle is. I think she's pretty decent too. All in all, I think this is a pretty well-rounded team that will do good at quite a few games, but they won't really do amazing. And I think they'll have a few bad games too, so that's why I'm putting them in 7th place. I think the stronger games for this team will be Spleef, Race, and the PvP games. And I think the weaker games for this team will be Construction and Order Up for sure. In 6th place, I'm putting the Teal Turtles with Antfrost, 5UP, Tubbo, Jack, and Lineshoe. Ant's a pretty strong leader to have, and he's got a lot of experience in Block Wars. 5UP's going to really help out this team too. He's got a lot of strategies, and he's pretty good at movement games and PvP too. Tubbo as a third frag is really good, because we've seen before that he's able to pop off with really strong teams. Jack as a 4 frag is also pretty strong, because I think he's a pretty decent player, and I'm not familiar with Lineshoe's skills. The reason I'm putting this team in 6th place is because I don't think they'll have any amazing games. I don't think they'll really have any bad games either, but I just think they'll get around the middle of the pack for all the games, and I will get them in around 6th place. In 5th place, I'm putting the Golden Gorillas with Lagundo, Camman, Apo, Crowfang, and In Littlewood. Camman's a top second frag to have, but he's never been the top frag before, and I think this event will prove if he's capable or not of that position. Apo and Martin are very strong second and third frags to have, and they'll really help the team out. And Lagundo and Crowfang, I think, are near the weaker side. But with strong players on the team, I think they'll definitely be able to have a better performance and do good. I'm putting this team in 5th because they're another well-rounded team. And this team's definitely a wild card. I'm not sure how they're going to do. They could do even better. They could do worse. But I'm going to put them pretty much right in the middle in 5th place. I think this team's going to excel at games like Order Up, Party, Blitz Hunt, and Construction, but will definitely struggle at the PvP games. In 4th place, I'm winning the Fuchsia Frogs with Wolfie, Sleepy, Super, Rain, and Boostfur. This team is pretty much the exact same team as the purple team at MCC9, with Wolfie, Sleepy, Rain, and Boostfur all being together again. In that event, they got 4th, and I think in this event, they'll probably get 4th again. Wolfie and Boostfur is a strong duo, and it seemed to work in the last event. Sleepy's shown they're an underrated player, and Rain is a decent player, and I don't think Super is going to be that good, but the vibes will definitely be amazing with him on the team. I think this is going to be another one of those teams that get middle of the pack for most of the games, with the exception of PvP, which I think they could dominate in. I think the best games for this team will be Construction, Battle, and Extraction. I think the worst games will be Race, Spleef, and Order Up. In 3rd place, I'm putting the Scarlet Sharks with Purpled, Caitlyn, Puns, CPK, and Yamina. Purpled is one of the best Block Wars players, and teaming him with Puns is a very scary duo indeed. And even CPK is a third frag. That's just OP. Caitlyn and Yamina are weaker players, but they're not even that bad. Like, they will put up some numbers. The only reason I'm not putting this team higher is because of the lack of experience. Like, Pines has only been in 2 or 3 block wars. CPK has been in quite a few, but he hasn't been in one as of recently. And Purple's been out of the last 2, I think, too. I think this team will do good at most games, especially the PvP ones. And I think the bad games for this team will be Spleef and Construction. In second place, I'm putting the Lime Lions with Ant Venom, Tapel, Poke, Joko, and Feinberg. This is a very scary team, as giving Feinberg the best Block Wars player, other players he could work with, is going to make it a very strong team. Like, Tapel and Ant are both very solid players. I think Joko's decent, and I'm not sure of Poke's skills, but I don't think he's that bad. I think the strong games for this team will be Order Up, Party, and Construction, which I think they'll dominate. However, I think this is a pretty weak race team, and I think they'll do really bad at Spleef, so they need those games out pretty early. And in first place is the Purple Pelicans with Fire Breathman, Shadoon, Captain Gato, Milkberry, and Ghosty Fruit. Fire Breathman's arguably the second best blockers player, and giving him Shadoon, a player that's been popping the hell off recently, makes this a very scary team indeed. And then there's Captain Gato. Although he doesn't have much experience at Block Wars, putting him as a third frag is very OP too. And it's not like Milkberry and Ghosty Fruit are awful either. Like, I've seen them popping off in games before. I think the strong games for this team will for sure be PvP. If any team gets in the way of this team, just run, honestly. Like, you don't stand a chance against this team in PvP. I think they'll also do good at Race and Sweep, though. And I think the only potential weaknesses for this team will be Construction and Blitz Hunt. Anyways, those have been my predictions. Let me know yours in the comments, and until then, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.